see, is it, oh, yeah, okay. All right, this is a special meeting of the Frankfort Plant Board. This is June 6, 2017, 5 o'clock, advertised special meeting agenda. I'll ask William if he'll call the roll of board members, please.
Member Ludwig?
Here.
Member Green?
Here.
Member Gibbon?
Here.
Member Baldwin?
Here.
Member Rosen?
Here.
All right, this is probably the least pleasant thing that the plant board does, is to have to talk about rate increases. And this evening we have on our agenda 3 separate items pertaining to rates. And 2 of which are, actually 3 of which are rate increases. 2 are rate increases and 1 is new services. I'll turn to Walt to conduct these hearings. He's my toughest member, so I think when you're talking about rate increases, you want your toughest member. So we'll put Walt on the podium here and get him rolling with these items.
See if I can read here with my glasses. This hearing will come to order. My name is Walt Baldwin. I've been requested by the board to conduct this hearing. With me today are board members and staff of Electric Water Plant Board. We're here to receive comments regarding the new proposed electric rates effective July 1st, 2017. This public hearing was advertised in accordance with regulations for public notification. To conduct this hearing in an organized fashion, we ask that you register with the secretary if you wish to speak. This hearing will be conducted informally and voluntarily by the Frankfort Electric and Water Plant Board in order to accept comments on the above item. Both oral and written comments will be accepted. Any and all persons present who wish to make a statement will be afforded an opportunity to do so. If you have a written statement to accompany your oral presentation, a copy of the written statement should be provided to the board prior to your presentation. Oral presentations should be limited to no more than 3 minutes. If necessary, I'll interrupt and request the presentation to be completed due to its time limit. I may ask questions of any person presenting oral comments where it is necessary to clarify the nature or substance of the comment. The board reserves the right to answer questions at a later date. It's the job of the board to fairly consider various points of view and information. We want the input and involvement, and I hope you do not find our standard procedures restrictive. Additional oral comments and written comments will be accepted and considered if they are submitted no later than the end of normal business hours on Monday, June 19th, 2017. To submit a comment, please contact FPB at 352-4372 or on our website, www.fpb.cc. Before we open for comments, Mr. Foster will provide a summary of the details.
Sir, thank you. For the benefit of our TV audience, I know the board understands most of these issues, but for the benefit of the TV audience, I will read this statement on the issues at hand. Starting in 2009, Kentucky Utilities, with Federal Energy Regulatory Commission approval, instituted an annual formulated rate mechanism. This mechanism allows KU to change the wholesale electric rate charge to the Frankfort Plant Board based on KU's actual charges incurred. FPB is notified of the new rate every May with an effective date of July 1 of that same year. This year, KU has notified the municipal customers of an estimated 7.08% wholesale rate increase, including projected ash pond cleanup costs, effective for energy used from July 1 of 2017. Due to these annual rate changes from KU and in keeping with good utility practice, the Frankfort Plant Board conducts periodic cost and cost allocation reviews by means of a cost of service study. These reviews ensure that the Frankfort Plant Board's retail rates generate adequate revenue based on consideration of wholesale power cost, operating expenses, as well as adequate working capital and reserves. Based on the most recent electric cost of service study, which was approved by the board in May of 2013, this 7.08% KU increase will translate differently for FPB's various customer classes, but will generally result in a 5.6% to 5.9% retail rate increase. That translates to an increase of $6.71 a month to our average residential customer. And again, I would like to state that this is a 100% pass-through for the increase of the Kentucky Utilities rate. No part of this increase goes to the Frankfort Plant Board. Directly for our operations, it passes through. To my knowledge, we have received no customer comments on this item, either phone, internet, and I don't believe there's any customers here right now at the moment. Thank you.
David, it's my understanding that what you're planning, and it follows up to the meeting discussion we just had on the budget in the previous special meeting, is that in your anticipation, Vince, you mentioned that the KU passed through and it also included the ash pond cleanup, and that based on what you're putting together as your long-term plan, David, that you hope to basically pay that liability that KU is assessing all of its customers for the ash pond with savings will generate out of KEMI, and that our customers won't see that as a necessary immediate add-on, but we'll pay it out of savings once we switch over. Is that right?
We've showed that ash pond in years 1, 2, and 3, so that's 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20. So we will pay most of it before
Okay.
we start realizing savings from KYMEA. So the KYMEA savings will not go to the ash pond. It will be covered with rates over the next 2 years.
Is there any option to defer any of that to a later date on the ash pond?
I think there is. I think you could extend it, but I think we would like to try to keep KU's rates as close to termination of the contract as possible.
Okay.
And so we talk about having a tail on the end of a contract. We didn't want to have extending KU cost into the new structure.
I just wonder, Vin, roughly, do you have a feel how much that ash pond added to the $6 and something average per customer? How much that ash pond is in that cost?
I don't know exactly how much it added to this particular one. Let me see if I.
Because that's something, as I understand, that KU did, and they got what cited for, and they had to clean it up.
I don't know about being cited for it, but that's part.
Different event.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
the ash pond though was there. Now they have to clean it up, right?
I think EPA, due to some of the ash pond issues from other locations a number of years ago, the EPA looked more closely at ash pond cleanup, and they put those things kind of across the board in the country. And to clean up some of these older power plants that we used as part of our power supply for years and those kind of things, that's what these charges are for, is to clean up those particular issues where they could have groundwater issues.
And the reason we're being cited is because we supposedly took part in that ash pond problem for electricity we were buying from KU in the past.
Yeah, FERC agrees that we should be charged a portion of it because all this usage of these plants that they closed or are closing, we were a participant. We received our power supply from that for all those years, so we should incur part of the cost.
So this won't continue after we leave KU then?
That is correct. Now, some of the actual bills will come in after we leave. That's why we're paying some of this cost up front, so we don't have this long tail coming in for years. Once we end our contract, again, there may be a true-up you would call where some of the bills come in and they go ahead and send us the rest of the bill. But once we leave that contract, they cannot come back and start billing us for stuff they do from May of 2019 forward. They can't charge us for those items. So we're kind of making it clear that part of it is for ash pond cleanup, but there's a million and one things that are in the rates, all kind of administrative, all kind of things. This is just another one of those pieces. It's being specifically talked about, but it is a part of a power supply cost that we have to recover.
You can see on the budget on page 22, and I've got it on the screen, line 55, we show it's just under $1,043,000, $1,042,292 over the first 3 years of this budget. And then about the time that we make the transition to a new provider, it's very close to timing wise the same.
We could have worked toward trying to pay the full. As you see, it's a little over $3 million. We could have tried to make all that payment in 1 year, but that would be extremely harsh on our customers to try to recover that additional funds. So we didn't want to. We didn't look at that as being a realistic option.
Was that all we have on that item? We already moved.
So nobody has made themselves known as from the public, so I guess we're ready to move on to the next item on the agenda.
Our next item is increasing the water rates. The new rates will be effective August 1st, 2017. We're here to receive comments regarding the new proposed rates to be effective again August 1st, 2017. Oral and written comments will be accepted for consideration if they're submitted no later than the end of normal business hours on Monday, June 19th, 2017. To submit a comment, please contact FPB at 352-4372 or on our website, www.fpb.cc. Mr. Billings will provide a summary of the details.
Also, for the sake of our viewing audience, we did a cost of service study back in 2016. We do this approximately once every 2 years, but the last one we did was in 2016, and we knew we had some major expenses come up in the water department, one being the reservoir. So we asked our consultant to reach out for a 5-year period and look at our increasing cost, decrease in sales, and additional capital infrastructure that we needed, and to roll that into a 5-year plan for incremental rate increases. This is year 2 of a 5-year plan to raise rates. As such, we asked the board for a public hearing, and we're here at the public hearing today. The increase in revenue is about 4.8% overall. It's more or less depending on which customer class you're in. It's consistent with a cost of service study, which provides for fair and equitable rates. And again, this is year 2 of a 5-year plan. The rate impact, we're happy to say, is small for average residential customer. It's $1.90 a month. So the average bill for city customers going from $27.40 a month to $29.30 a month. And the rate impact for what we would consider a commercial customer, that's a 30,000 gallon customer, will increase from $154 a month to $160 a month. The takeaway from this is we're still putting water in people's homes for about $1 a day. So we're still very competitive with our rates.
Any comments? Moving on to number 3. We're going to conduct a public hearing regarding the establishment of rates for business telephone features and business telephone service hosted PBX. The new rates would go into effect August 1st, 2017. Additional oral comments and written comments will be accepted and considered if they are submitted no later than the end of normal business hours on Monday, June 19th, 2017. To submit a comment, please contact FPB 352-4372 or on our website, www.fpb.cc. Mr. Couch and Mr. Columbia will provide a summary of the details.
Thank you, Member Baldwin. We had not received any comment on this electronically or phone, but I'll have David run through the item one more time.
FPB staff has received requests from existing customers and potential customers for additional features for our business telephone service. The added features will enhance FPB's business telephone service and will give customers more options than exist currently. FPB staff also looks to add a new service that will dramatically change our business telephone offerings. Hosted PBX service will provide an internet-based phone service solution that will help small businesses get big business features and will help big businesses control their phone service and cost more efficiently. The added features and services are optional and are in addition to the current FPB business telephone offerings. I'll just read through the features and service additions real quick for you. It's called Transfer Disconnect, Telebranch, Unavailable Call Forwarding, Reserved Telephone Number, Complex Listing Per Line, VFAX, Ultimate VFAX, PRI, DID Parked, PRI Line, T1 with existing fiber services from FPB, PRI Line with existing fiber services from FPB, a partial PRI, and then Basic Station. These are for the next is for the hosted PBX service. Basic Station, standard business user with unlimited long distance, a call center user supervisor, and there's some optional options, which is easy auto attendant, premium auto attendant, music on hold, soft client, hunting for standard business users, and multi-line hunt groups. And that's it. I do want to address in the previous special meeting, I was asked to check on other vendors for this service, and I did. And we have FPB in our existing contract. The hosted PBX is in our existing contract with Big River Telephone, and we have a non-compete clause for that service. And that's all I have.
Let me ask you this, David.
Yes, sir.
Is, in establishing these rates, are these the rates that Big Rivers, or are these rates we developed?
These are the retail rates for us that we developed with Big River, helped us with it. They sell this as a retail service as well, and I work with them daily with not just our wholesale provider contact. I have a retail contact there
So-
that helps.
Because these I mean, these aren't a rate increase. These are new services we're going to offer, and this is the rate structure. This isn't changing existing telephone rates or existing business rates. These are additional services if people want to purchase them.
Yes, sir. They're all optional and
Is it-
all additional services.
From your standpoint in sales, are these rates competitive with what other vendors are offering out there?
Yes, I think they are. They're more than competitive. I think we try to keep these rates, below competitive, just to be a good municipal utility.
And if we offer this service and we offer these rates, it won't cost us anything in terms of these services are available, and we'd simply reimburse Big Rivers for services as our customers purchase them.
Correct. It doesn't cost FPB any additional money. It's just more a new revenue stream for us.
Okay. And it's something business customers, as you understand it, want access or want available.
Yes, definitely for the features and the service. I've had several customers that already have it with somebody else, or have requested it from us. Yes, sir.
Are there any other services that we don't offer that we would be precluded from offering from the non-compete?
Not to my knowledge. I did the feature additions. I asked Big River, I said, can you give me all of the features you have available that we can have, and we'll go ahead and get them. That way, if any other customers ask, we don't have to come back and do this again. We've got everything they offer.
So this is their whole list of their services
Yes.
that,
Yes, sir. That's it. So we've got it all. We would like to have it all.
If there's no questions, I guess.
Okay, well, that'll conclude the 3 public hearings. Being a special meeting, we're limited to the published agenda. So I'll ask if we, unless the board has some other discussion or something, why, ask if we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, okay. Discussion, if any. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. All right.